you doing?
How are you?
I'm on TJ.
Meet you.
Nice and cashed your shorts. I wish I was in shorts today.
The joys of being retired. Of course, in the summer I wore shorts to work most of the time.
Fridays I wear shorts, but not.
What do you do, TJ?
I work at El Port of Tucson. Been there for 10 years.
Oh,
Playing golf like the last 5 or 6 years. one of the best past presidents we've ever had.
Compared to the ones that are on the stage right now,
Okay, well, this is kind of the adequate side over here.
this is adequate. This is above that.
Above it, for sure.
And then that side,
Curtis, you just can't get off of the head table.
I wanted to. I'm like, Rita, do I have to? It's amazing.
Dude, it's only 12:05. 12 p.m. ring the bell. 12:15.
Remind them to get their lunch and then get started.
Okay. Good morning, afternoon, everyone. If you haven't yet gotten your lunch, please do. We're going to get this show on the road in about 8 minutes. Oh, why, thank you.
I try.
better be. Butterflies are certainly ready.
Oh yeah. You know what? In about 3 or 4 weeks from now, it just goes away and it's routine. Yeah. But it's nervous the first couple of times. But you've sub-hosted already, so
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. And whenever you feel nervous and think people are judging you, they forget about 30 seconds after they leave anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, there is that. It's the Ted Lasso goldfish line, right? Yeah. The 10-second memory. Hey, hello. I wish I could. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for being here.
I'm so glad that you landed that jump last year. For a second there, when you went up, I didn't know how you were going to do it.
Oh yeah. It certainly was, and then half the room was ready to. Well, Curtis said when you jumped, it was very entertaining. And my thought was half the room was betting you were going to make it, and the other half was betting you would not.
Dorina made me.
Over the table talk here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was a while ago. Wow. Okay. It's up here, okay. Who? Over there? I know. Louder! 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 Where's that big one? All right. Thank you, everyone. We're going to start today with our pledge and song. And so Luis Hernandez is coming up. Right? There you are. All right. So Luis is with Her Core Insurance Company, and there you go.
Right. Thank you.
This way.
We'll follow your feet.
Oh.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My country, this.
We gotta wait for her.
I cannot sing. My country, this is free land of liberty, humbly I sing. And where my fathers died, land of the youth's pride,
Thank you. And for our inspiration this afternoon, I'd like to welcome to the podium Joe Danishevsky, who's a business consultant who graduated from Lemoyne College. Take it away, Joe.
Okay, we got to do it right. Who am I? Oh, louder. Joe D. So that saves people from trying to pronounce my last name. And to spell it is Joe D. In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I have 10 quotes from the signers of the Declaration of Independence. It took me much work to get these quotes. First one, never trade liberty for security. They that can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Benjamin Franklin. Always be prepared. Let us prepare for the worst. We can die here but once. Abraham Clark. Be willing to lay down your life for freedom. Do you recollect in pensive and awesome silence which pervaded the house when we were called up one after another to the table of the President of Congress to subscribe what was believed by many at that time to be our own death warrants? Benjamin Rush. Don't take your rights for granted. Let the annual return of this day forever refresh our recollections of these rights and undiminished devotion to them. Thomas Jefferson. Time to reflect. I always considered an ideal life as a real evil, but a life of such hurry, such constant hurry, leaves us scarcely a moment for reflection or for the discharge of any other than the most immediate and pressing concerns. Edward Rutledge. Being a nation of laws provides security. The great object of a free people must be so to form their government and laws, and so to administer them as to create a confidence in and respect for the laws. Oh, you're going to love this one. Arguing with an unreasonable person is a waste of time. To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. Thomas Paine. Be bold and speak the truth. Stand upright, speak thy thoughts, declare the truth thou hast, that all may share. Be bold, proclaim it everywhere. They alone live who dare. Lewis Morris. And the last one, we need to be united. John Hancock. Let's hear it for our original signers of the Declaration of Independence.
Thank you, Joe D. We have introduction of guests and our new Sergeant at Arms, Dan Calm. Welcome, Dan, to the podium.
Thank you. All right, so you're going to hear a lot from me this year about happiness studies. And happiness studies are really interesting because, people talk about health and sleeping and all that kind of stuff, but they say that the best thing to do for happiness, especially as we get older, is develop relationships. So I'm going to introduce guests and explain to you as guests, both here and on the online, watching us, that if you're looking for a club and you're looking for a place to be happy and plug in, we're the happiest club. Look around. Look at the relationships we have, right? All right, so with that, when I call your name, would you please stand up so that I can recognize that you're here? From the 5500 District Governor, Bruce Monroe. From the Catalina Club, Barbara Kiernan. Barbara? Guest of Mitch Piesick, Daniel Allen. Mr. Allen? Guest of Dre Williams, Christopher Lidberg. And guest of Ricky Hunley, the lovely Janine Mason. Welcome. So if you are looking for a club, we would love to have you join us and be a part of our club, and I will give this back to you.
There we go. And speaking of our virtual visitors, I want everybody who knew her and wants to say hi, because I have it on really good authority that Marianne Freitas is watching today. So, hi, Marianne. So there's a lot of things that we all like, and one of the things is letters. So I have a favorite letter, and I think it's going to be your favorite letter too. So if you know the words, sing along.
What starts with the letter C? Cookie starts with C. Let's think of other things that start with C. Who cares about other things? C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C. Oh, C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C. Hey, you know what? A round cookie with one bite out of it looks like a C. A round donut with one bite out of it also looks like a C. But it is not as good as a cookie. Oh, the moon sometimes looks like a C, but you can't eat that. So, C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Yeah, C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C. Yeah, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C. Oh boy, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C.
Knowing how important cookies are to this group, we started a new thing. So we are going to have cookie sponsors. So remember a couple weeks ago when I mentioned that our club didn't need a dues increase? This is going to help us not have a dues increase. So for the mere low, low price of $250, you too can be a cookie sponsor. And what you get is, see the cookies that are coming out? You get a table tent that has your name on it. You'll have your advertising logo on the screen. Look at that. You get And so I would like to recognize Bob Morgan, who is our very first cookie sponsor. And Bob, come here, because you get your logo on the screen, you get to keep all the table tents, right, that are going all around. Plus, all the rest of you pay attention because cookie sponsors get the leftover cookies. But the pièce de résistance that our cookie sponsors get is the cookie badge. So Bob gets the first one, and they're not edible. They're not edible, but they are wearable. So
Way to go, Bob.
way to go. Yeah, way to go, Bob. So we're going to talk more about cookies in a minute. I just wanted to let you guys not starve because cookies are very important. And so to introduce today's program, our former president, who gets his past president pin, Mr. Curtis. Past president's pin.
I've waited so long for this.
We're happy you have it.
It's beautiful. Pipe down, Jim. Pipe down. You know you're going to miss me in a few years. So it is my honor, now that I'm a past president. Actually, I don't think I want to give up this mic. I think it really likes me. It is my honor to introduce today's program. Today's program, she was born in New Jersey, but she grew up in Phoenix, graduated high school, and quickly came to her senses and moved to Tucson. Got her BA at the University of Arizona, master's at the University of San Francisco. She's the CEO at DK Advocates, Community and Social Services. Is Michael here? Michael's not. The fridge was not running. That's other issues. But David is here. Joined our club April 9th, 2003, and I'm so excited for her year to begin. Dot Crep.
Yeah, we got to do something about this mic here. So, all right, here we go. So, where's our first one here? Oh, am I supposed to be doing this? Oh, good point. Okay, you're right. Sorry. You'd think I could read this, couldn't I? Okay, so last weekend was the Rotary International Convention in Calgary, Canada. From my perspective, it was also the wedding of my nephew. So I, being a family person, I got to go to my cousin's wedding, my nephew's wedding. So, but feeling that this club needed to be represented at the international conference, Mark Irvin graciously accepted the invitation to represent us at the International Convention in Calgary. So to tell you a little bit about that, Mr. Mark Irvin.
Thanks, Dot. Curtis told me he fixed this microphone. My guess is going up and down a bunch this year, we'll probably break it again. So I want to tell you, I really now no longer share something with my pal, Jennifer. Jen and myself were the two people that had never been to a Rotary International Convention. You know, COVID kind of took that away from us, and I didn't get a chance to go. That person that's not been now is Jen, so you can all bug Jen. I will tell you, I had a great time. Learned a lot. Amazing people in Calgary. I've never met anybody, a group of people that were more engaging and polite. They had just finished the G7 conference. Trump had just left about a week or so before, and they'd heard all the stuff about annexation of Canada and this, that, and the other. And comically, they're like, we can't wait for the U.S. to become our 11th province. I thought that was just really fun. A couple of takeaways. There's a bunch of pictures. I just sent pictures to Dorina of stuff that I thought was interesting at the conference. It was an amazing convention. A couple of takeaways that I took from that. First, the Calgary Club, or I should say clubs, all came together and are very involved in their downtown. So much so that the Calgary House is at the Stampede grounds, which is really, really cool. Very, very big involvement in their downtown. I think if you work downtown or you're in government downtown, you're probably a member of one of the Rotary clubs in Calgary. Pretty fascinating. The presentations, the opening ceremony, walking in with the flags was really cool. I was telling Bruce I thought it was really neat that our soon-to-be past district governor, now is, Sue, actually went up on stage carrying at least 3 flags, if not 4. It was really, I thought that was pretty amazing. The grounds where they have, and you'll see some pictures pop up here, they have a big Ferris wheel there. Rotary is all over that Ferris wheel, and it's there all the time. It's not just up for the convention, it is there all the time. A lot of really great programs that they had. I just want to say the people there went out of their way every time we turned around to try to find a way to be helpful. I did all this stuff like home hospitality, where they had to load up 4 buses of us to go to a country club for a home hospitality. Really upscaled. I'd say there was, I don't know what the final head count was, but I think it was probably close to 20,000 people that went to that conference. You talk about programs, I thought the Friendship Village, where you could walk around and visit with people, was amazing. The other thing that I thought was, in addition to how friendly the people were, I loved how they had just taken over their downtown. And I think as our club has returned downtown and been back here now for almost 4 or 5 years, I think it's a good opportunity for us to go and do that. If you've not been to a conference before, I will tell you, very, very cool. The other thing that I was telling Drina and Dot, I think, we have a tradition in our club that the president-elect goes to the conference. As we've shifted things around, as we select people to be incoming presidents or president-elect, I think we should ask our president-elect nominee to go. You get back from a conference, and then your very first meeting, you're Rotary president, and it's just a lot to absorb. So I'm going to ask the board and others to kind of maybe look and consider that, but I'd go back to Calgary in a heartbeat and just appreciate the opportunity to go. If you've not been, you should. It's a really cool town. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. And Curtis, you don't have to introduce me again, okay? All right. But there's a lot of people who I would like to introduce. And first of all, since Curtis just got his past president pin, I have a president-elect pin for Mr. Bobby Larson. Where are you, Bobby? I know you're here. There he is. All right. President-elect. Thank you, Bobby. So very quickly, I'd like to introduce our new board for this year. So let's see, Brittany Battle. Brittany, stand up, say hi. She's in charge of media, public relations. Jason Graybosch, I didn't see him. Is he here, Jason? But Jason is going to continue. He's a continuing board member. He's in charge of youth services. And yes, thank you. And our club is a very social club, and a lot of that is thank you to Michael Guyman, who is also continuing this year. There he is over there, as our social director. Service, she's not here, but Diana Medeiros is continuing as our in charge of club service projects. We have currently 15 or 16, and on August 20th, she will be our program, and it's going to be devoted to all the different service projects like we did last year. This year, we have Alan Schroep. I think Alan's out of town. Is Alan here? Okay, so Alan is going to be our membership chair for recruitment, and Jonathan Walkup over here is going to be our membership chair for engagement, and I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. Additionally, we have a lot of officers to thank. So Glenn Ewing is not here, but he's our treasurer, continuing again, yay. And the amazing Jen Delaney, where are you, Jen, is continuing as our secretary. There she is, way back over there, and media person. As you know, our sergeant-at-arms is Dan Combe. President-elect is Bobby Larson. Car show chair, Dave White. Dave here? There he is. Yay, Dave. Thank you, thank you. Foundation chair is Cliff Bowman. There he's Cliff. Yeah, he does deserve a standing O there. At least a single standing O. And of course, our past president, Curtis. And then we have some very important committee chairs. So the Ride to End Polio, Gary Hirsch and Charlotte. Where's Charlotte Harris over there? Our TRVFA, the Rotary Club Vocational Fund, Sean Hoffman has graciously stepped in to take over running that. So thank you, Sean, wherever you are. Program, Pat Zumbush is staying on, ably assisted by Cammie Evans. And visiting us today is Barbara Kiernan, who is the Global Grant Coordinator for the district, and Jim Lubinsky. Jim Lubinsky is in charge of our current global grant. So I'll get into some of that later too. But thank you all for being here, as well as Bruce Monroe, our district governor. So let's see. So Unite for Good is the, let's see. Oh, this is Curtis's, right? I forgot to give this to you. Oh. Well, magic is almost over here. So Curtis, you get your banner. I forgot to give that to you. There we go. Clap for it. Clap again. For Curtis. Okay. So let's see. So the Magic of Rotary was the theme for last year. This year's theme is Unite for Good. And so I want to talk about that. There are Unite for Good pins at the back table. And is our flag somewhere here? Oh, it's in front, duh, okay. All right. So what we're doing here is, so the Rotary International theme is Unite for Good. And our club is going to have a theme for this year too, and we're going to Unite Southern Arizona, which abbreviates out to USA. So you're going to see that theme woven in and out. So we've already determined that C is our letter of the day. So of course we've got the main C that you all are interested in because of the cookies. But I have 4 more C's that I want to talk to you about that kind of intertwine this year and what we're looking for. So the first C is for connection. And Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And so for connection, that really refers to things of just our club. So we want to focus on our club. We want people to feel safe here. We want them to feel welcome here. And so one of the things that we're going to do that's a little bit different is we change the format of the board a little bit. So we used to have the more than adequate Mitch Pizik in charge of membership and focusing in on recruitment. And that is going to continue. And Alan Schroep is going to be our membership chair in charge of recruitment. So he'll be working on getting our word out there, getting people in, that whole procedure. But then it's one thing to get people in, and we've done a really good job about that. But it's another thing to keep people once they are in. So for the last several years, we've been really good about bringing people in, but we've also lost about the same number of people, so it's kind of neutral. So if we focus on getting new members engaged and appreciating people, awards, recognition, all of that stuff, I think that maybe what we can do is still keep getting new people, but also keeping folks once they start. So Jonathan Walkup is our other membership chair, and he's going to be focused on member engagement, which includes awards, recognitions, that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do, one of the things we're going to do for that is celebrate our members. Now, I don't know about you, but one thing that has bugged me for the 23 years I've been in Rotary is that when somebody does something cool, what do? We fine them. How fun is that? I mean, we should be celebrating them. So we're doing away with fines. We're not going to fine anybody this year. What we are going to do, well, just wait, Larry, just wait. Larry likes the fines, but we're going to switch it. So if you do something good, we're going to give you a way to go, right? You did something great. Way to go. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be invited to celebrate yourself by making a contribution to the club. That part's not going to go away, Larry, so you can relax. However, we're just going to change just that little use of words and the whole attitude, and so instead of finding people, they're going to get a way to go from the group. And we are a very social group, and as I mentioned, Michael Guyman is going to still head up our social events with mixers and parties, and we'll still see a lot of those. Cookies. All right, I already told you about the plan for the cookie sponsors. We have 16 of you. 16 members so far have signed up to be cookie sponsors. So I want you to appreciate them and give them a way to go. So Bob Morgan is the first. Matt Blair is the second. And I need to give you a little bit of backstory on that because within hours of it being announced that I was going to be the president, I was accosted. I mean literally accosted by Bob Morgan and Matt Blair, who came up to me and said, "Are you going to have cookies?" I'm like, "Yeah." And because they both said that was a deal breaker. If we weren't going to have cookies, they were leaving. So as I was getting ready for this, one of the things I did was looked at the first day speeches of the last 5 presidents. And imagine my surprise when I watched Curtis's, and he said almost exactly those same words, that he too was accosted by Bob Morgan and Matt Blair, and so that's where the seed came from to do the cookie sponsors. So thank you to Matt Blair and to Bob Morgan, but also thank you to, we have several of you, so also having volunteered to be cookie sponsors, Mark Urban, Tim Gronke from Solar Gain, Jim Wood, Bobby Larson, Diana Medeiros, David Lex for Pack Mail, Alan Schroep for Camp Bow Wow. Maybe we should have dog-shaped cookies then. Jonathan Walkup, David Lex for Archive Advantage, Charlotte Harris, Jody Condit for La Posada, Matt Sinclair, Backflow Prevention, Glenn Ewing for Gibson's, and Ralph Phillips for Failwheel Bikes. That is 16 members. So for the next 16 meetings, you know you are going to have cookies. So any of the rest of you who are interested, you can call me, you can call Dorina, and we'll get you set to be a cookie sponsor, and then you too can get all the table tents, the leftover cookies, and one-of-a-kind Cookie Monster badges. So that leads to events around town. Now, what does that abbreviate about? So, you know, the second meeting of the month, we're meeting everybody for lunch. How many of you have been to one? A lot. Aren't they fun? So yeah, we're going to continue that, and we're going to kind of grow that. And events around town abbreviates to EAT, eat, right? And if there is anything that this club is good at, it would be eating. So we're going to continue, and we're going to grow that as involvement and as fellowship, to increase the fellowship. Now we currently have fellowships for book club. We have a cycling fellowship and a golf fellowship. We have hiking. We have a whiskey, thank you, Mitch. And we have a wine fellowship. And a new one is the agave, which is tequila and mezcal, right? That one's being started. However, as I've talked to several of you, how many of you have something fun that you like to do that you would like to share with your fellow Rotarians? We could set up more fellowship groups if you're interested, like a movie group or a theater group, board games, chess, pickleball, or how about axe throwing? So whatever you like to do, if you'd like to do it with Rotarians, think about setting it up as a fellowship. On a very serious project for this year, our 5-year strategic plan ends this year. So we're going to go forward with a new strategic plan, and so we're looking for volunteers, people who want to be involved with the strategic plan. So several of you have already stepped up, so anybody else who's interested, please let us know. That's going to be a really interesting project, and it's going to take some work, but it's all right, it'll be a good thing. And then the other thing we're going to do that relates to our club is timing. Because, as you know, we are rushed and cramped to get everything in the allotted time. The advantage of getting rid of that second meeting so that we can all be out in the community is that it's more fellowship and it's time together. But what it means for the rest of the meetings is that you have more birthdays and more Paul Harris's and more everything else that makes the meeting times a lot more crammed. So what we're going to try is having our end time be 1:30 instead of 1:18. So I've heard from quite a few of you who said we should have been doing that already. So we're going to actually do it and see if it works. And if we don't get too many complaints and people seem to like it, then we will just go forward with a 1:30 end time. Is that right? So that's our C for connection, which is our club. The second C I want to talk about is collaboration. And where is that here? And that's there it is. Okay, unity is strength. Where there's teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. So for collaboration, I'm referring to not just our club, but other Rotary clubs. So Rotary clubs in our district, as well as the district, as well as Rotary International. It's I don't know how many of you know this, but it's very upsetting that as of yesterday, 2 Rotary clubs in Tucson are no longer in existence. Pantano and Old Pueblo have shuttered, and they are no longer Rotary clubs. And I think that that's really sad. And I'm thinking that maybe if we were to, we're the biggest club. We have over 230 members. So what if we were to more actively support some of the other clubs? Because although we're a wonderful club, we are the best, we know that. However, a club that has 230 people really doesn't fit for everyone. Some people like smaller clubs. Some people can't meet on Wednesday. For some people, they don't like downtown. So we need other clubs that focus on other things. And if we can help support them, it makes Rotary stronger, it makes our community stronger, and it makes our club stronger. So we can promote events, we can include them with things that we do. So also part of collaboration is youth services, and Jason has been in charge of that last year and is continuing this year, and that includes RILA, Youth Exchange, Rotaract, Interact, so we're going to get a lot more publicity and interaction with those organizations. Joe D., who's here somewhere, is going to be doing Peace Builders, so we're going to hear from him later on about talking about Peace Builders. Our next meeting on the 16th, our illustrious presenter will be Bruce Monroe, the district governor. So he's going to tell us a lot more about activities, events, and things that are happening in the district, and maybe we can be more involved. We have a district conference coming up. There's interaction with Mexico. There's all kinds of things that we can get involved with more than we have been on the district level. And so International Grant, El Nadoy, presented to us a couple weeks ago about the project in Sudan, the Forgotten Children. And so Jim Lubinsky is in charge of that from our club level, and I mentioned Barbara Kiernan from the district level. And also involved in that thus far are Cliff Bowman, Mitch Pizik, Brittany Battle, Joe D., Don Rawlings, Chuck Sawyer, and Amina Nautwani. So anybody else who is interested in working on that project, it's the Forgotten Children, an orphanage and school and vocational training program in Sudan. So it'll be in Senegal, sorry. So anybody who's interested, please step forward and let us know. So that C is collaboration and working with our club, other clubs, and other district events. The next C is community. And that's the one, is community. And there's no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And so community refers to our entire Tucson, Southern Arizona community, because there's a lot of other organizations, many of whom we've interacted with, like, Bobby's done a great job with us at the food bank. We have done clothing drives and things for Sister Jose's. So we can do things with other clubs in the community. And although we are the biggest Rotary club in Arizona, if you look at all the other types of clubs around, we're probably one of the biggest of them too. So there's ways that we can outreach, that we can work with other organizations, and we can unite Southern Arizona. Diana Medeiros is still going to do service projects, and we've already got 15 of them, but there's several others that have been suggested that are going to impact the community and help us get more involved with our community. Brittany is going to be in charge of public relations, and so she's going to promote Rotary in the community, and she's going to promote community with Rotary. Jonathan and Brittany are going to work on nominations, because there's all kinds of things going on in the community that we could be involved with that we just need to know about. Literacy is one of our big programs with Make Way for Books and all of that, and so we're going to still keep focusing on that. And Uniting Southern Arizona, one of the best gifts that our club gives to this community is the car show. So Dave White is in charge of that for this year, and so that's going to continue, and it's going to be another in a series of excellent car shows. So thank you to all of you who have been working on that and who are heading committees, and you can buy tickets, I hear from Roger and Jeannie at the back table. And if you haven't picked up your ticket envelope packet, get it in the back so we can save postage and not have to mail it to you. Although PacMail loves that. So Unite Southern Arizona, we can have events that we can present to the community, invite other Rotary clubs to, invite members of the community to. Pat and Cammie are working on that. So Unite Southern Arizona is community. The last C is compassion. And this is one of the most important and one of the most difficult for me. As most of you know, December 2nd, exactly 6 months ago, I suffered one of the worst things that could ever happen to someone when my son died 28 days before his 30th birthday of an asthma attack. The outpouring of love and support and hope and strength that came in from this group was astounding. It kept me standing. And one of the things that I learned when I was reading some of the several hundred cards and emails and text messages was that there's so many of you in this group that are a member of that club that no one ever wants to be a member of. And so for those of you who reached out with that, I really appreciate the trust that you gave in me in telling your story, and it does help make us stronger. So one of the major values that we've heard of this group is that we are a group, we are full of fellowship, and we care about each other. And we're going to build on that. And so I wanted to use this opportunity to thank you because it really meant a lot. And as I mentioned, it kept me standing. However, so that's on the individual level, but compassion also moves out to disaster response, things like Shelter Box, things like getting involved with the wildfires in LA, that sort of thing. The Rotary Vocational Fund is also an evidence of compassion. People who donate to our Pima College and our U of A scholarship funds, as well as TRVFA, we really support compassion in the community for that. So, and then the EREY, every Rotarian every year contributes to that compassion category. The Ride to End Polio, Gary and Charlotte again. And again, USA. Contributions to other organizations, contributions to us really help in terms of that whole sea of compassion, which is one of the very most important parts of Rotary. I believe it was our district governor who said, people join Rotary for logical reasons. They stay for emotional ones. And that's where the compassion comes in. So thank you all for that. And looking forward. And so now, what several of you have requested, yo! Hey! Happy birthday to the USA! Hey! To the USA, there we go. Hey! Yo! Our new year started today, don't you know? How very exciting this new year will be. We'll unite for good and for Southern AZ. We'll have cookies. Yay. We'll eat. Yay. We'll have fellowship with wine. Our membership will grow along with our waistlines. Boo, yeah. We'll move ourselves forward. For excellence, we'll strive. We're the Rotary Club of Tucson, and together we'll thrive. I am humbled and honored, and so grateful too, and raring to go. There's so much to do. Thank you all. Okay, thank you for that. So we have a book signing the Little Book of Setting Goals. So, it will be signed by our speaker and put in our Make Way for Books library. And so now we have our club business. So, birthdays. There we go. So our first one is TJ, who is El Tour de Tucson and went to the University of Florida. TJ, happy birthday.
You could add the national champions, Florida Gators, by the way, and they'll play Arizona and Las Vegas. If you want a piece of us, bring it on. So I love Arizona too, but I'm a Gator true and true. Got a little birthday check for the ride to end polio. Appreciate all you do and really involved in that. And I didn't know if in my 1 minute, sometimes they tell a quick story. So since I'm sitting next to Jim from Chicago, it was on this day about 15 years ago. I was in Wrigley Field and sitting in the bleachers on a perfect Friday afternoon, and I caught a home run ball. And it's like, that's the greatest thing in the world. It's like second inning, caught a home run ball. Later in the day, have you ever been to Wrigley Field? You know, they serve old style there. So you got one in your hand and you got your friends around you. I caught a second home run ball in one game. The odds of that are way better than a hole in one, or, I mean, just astronomical. To keep my beer completely full and catch a ball at whatever, 30 some odd years old is an absolute feat. And my friends never let me forget, like, that is the most amazing feat. Then I saw just the other day, a guy was at a baseball game. He dropped his baby, caught the baseball, and then caught the baby as before the baby hit the ground and didn't spill his beer. So I'm like, I thought I was good till I saw that video clip. And now I feel like very, very adequate in the lore of Wrigley Field. So have a great day.
Thank you. Next birthday, which is today, is Mr. Jim Labinski, who talks about how before he moved to Tucson in 2002, he co-founded and chaired for 7 years a charity run that benefited St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. In the first 7 years, they raised over $1 million for St. Jude, and the run still continues. Thank you, and a happy birthday, Jim.
Don't have to raise it too much more. But thank you, President Dodd, and good luck to you in the coming year. And Curtis, great job for completing a year on there. So, and just a little side Cubs story. First Major League Baseball game I ever went to was in 1969. We had just moved to Chicago, and my dad took myself and my three brothers, and we were there for Ken Holtzman's first no-hitter. So that's a good way to start the day. He went to U of I, you're right. He absolutely did. ILL, Bobby. I was contemplating what to say today, and I had just a very brief statement. The power of Rotary. And to me, the power of Rotary lies in when you come into a meeting, you participate in a service project, or you engage in a fellowship event. And when you come in, you check all of your political, social, and religious convictions at the door. And then you work side by side with a whole group of people to try to improve your community, your country, and your world, regardless of what your beliefs are outside that room. So for me, that is the power of Rotary. I've got 2 checks today. One for my every Rotarian every year, and the other is for our club's international endowment.
A very fun thing that we get to do now is introduce a new member. So is, let's see. Where are we? Roger LaFay. Oh, thank you. So Roger's with My Camp Solutions and went to school in southern Utah and is going to introduce a new member.
All right. This is exciting. This is the third one I've done in just a couple months. This is exciting. It's my pleasure to introduce Luis Hernandez, our newest member of the Tucson Rotary Club. Luis is the owner and founder of HerCore Insurance Group, an independent insurance brokerage proudly based in Tucson. Her Cor stands for Hernandez Coronado, a name that reflects the marriage between Luis and his wife, Fernanda Coronado, both in life and in purpose. Luis was born in Tucson and raised in Nogales, Mexico. He brings over a decade of specialized experience in property and casualty risk management, ranging from complex auto fleets to work compensation programs to everyday home and auto insurance needs. Luis is a proud husband to Fernanda and devoted father to 3 young children, Max, who's 4, Emilia, who's 2, and Eli, who's 9 months. He joins the Rotary with a strong desire to be part of something bigger, to connect with leaders who are committed to building stronger, more united Tucson. We are proud to welcome Luis to our Rotary family. Luis Hernandez.
Thank you, Roger. One of the biggest reasons I joined, as you mentioned, there's 3 new members thanks to you. You're very impactful in my life, and thanks, Curtis, for a great job, and welcome, Dot. But the biggest reason I joined is because I want to make an impact in Tucson. I recently sold my building on Oracle. Homeless population is taking over middle of our town, and I look at our Tucson Rotary, and it's past movers and shakers, present movers and shakers, and the future movers and shakers of Tucson. So I want to make an impact in our community and help build a stronger economy in Tucson and safer environment for all of us. And I'm here to help. Thank you.
Take a picture of her. All right. There we go. All right. And next, there we go, our illustrious Sergeant at Arms Dan Combe.
It's raffle time. The big pot's up to $1,500, and the small pot today is $70. So let's see what we come up with. Bruce? Just one. Any ticket but Curtis's. All right, there we go. 263 344. Hey! Chuchi. All right. Now let's see, Chuchi. Hang on a minute. Let's see if you win the big pot. I did verify there are 26 cards left. 26. Mr. Dodge left me. Total. Started at 52, so we have a ways to go. Is close, but no dice. Next time. Oh, and I got a slide coming up. Let's see the slide. All right, so this is our first way to go. And I was watching TV the one day, and I saw Major Andres Espinosa on TV, and they're working on a couple different things. They've got the first child spree coming up. They've got a second hospitality house shelter, and then they're doing a Red Kettle kickoff, which, by the way, Tom Strasburg and I are working on. And Andres, we want 8 locations. I just heard from Tom today. We need 8 locations for our Red Kettle thing. Anyway, so Andres is doing his way to go. And for the recognition of being here and being on TV, he's donated. I'll let him talk for a second.
Okay, well, as you know, that the child spree is coming this Saturday, the July 26th. We have 150 kids that we selected. We're working with the JCPenney, and we provide $150, not just a backpack, but $150 to buy a shoes, a jacket, whatever they need to the first day of classes. Do you see this is a smiling? They're so excited because it's not just a backpack, but it's a tennis shoes, shirts, and everything. It's 150 kids that we selected from JCPenney and us. And if you want to sponsor any kid, just let me know. Maybe we can do better.
Thanks, Major. Thank you very much. And that's our first way to go from Major Espinosa. If you want to help Major Espinosa, please get with him. He's very good about all that stuff. And way to go. And you're making a donation, he told me, of $25 for recognition. So thank you very much.
So we have some events coming up. So next week, we don't have a lunch meeting on July 9th because Diana Medeiros is opening up her gallery for two important reasons. Number one is Ricky Hunley to celebrate. Where's Ricky? I heard he was here. And also the famous worldwide, world-renowned author Bob Logan, who's there in the back, will be there with his books. And yes, Bob Logan wrote a book. Yeah. Oh, right. 2 meetings in a row that he's been here, I know. Woohoo, way to go, Bob. And well, actually, next week we'll make it 3 on the 9th at Diana's gallery at 6 o'clock on July 9th. So you do need, there's no cost to it, but you do need to register on the website. So please go and sign up. It should be a really fun event, and Diana's gallery is amazing and wonderful. Also, we have a list of all the different events and projects on your tables, but we're going to go over some of them here also. Hiking fellowship, book fellowship, hiking, and another book fellowship. So we have a bunch of fellowships, and like I said, you can create new ones if you like. And then we have our, okay, there's the gallery event. Here we go, Red Badge Selfies. That is Rob Same and John Duvall. So keep it up what our Red Badge Selfies are. Red Badge is what our new members get. So if you run into somebody who's a Red Badge Rotarian, take a selfie with them, and it doesn't have to be in this room. It'd be great if it was out in the community somewhere. You ran into them at, Target or the golf course or whatever. Take a picture, and we'll share it and help people feel welcome. This room here is going to be our meeting room for all of the lunch meetings in July and the first meeting in August. So it will be in here, the turquoise crystal ballrooms. And I'm sure you've all registered your cars. If you haven't, register your license plate so you don't get charged. And I have down here Dave, but Dave's not doing a minute, right?
But we have Jeannie.
Jeannie. Jeannie, go for it.
This is the time? All right. I have 3 things I want to remind you about the car show. One is, as Dot said, we have ticket packets in the back for anybody that has not picked up theirs yet. And if you don't plan to actually sell tickets, but you want to make a donation instead, or you are getting ticket sale credits from other things, let us know that that's your intention. Secondly, there's Little Anthony events where we still need some people to help sell tickets. I don't know that we've covered yet for this Saturday, July 5th. And the third thing is that start hitting out the email requests out to people to buy. Lisa Stanton did send out to everybody that had sold online last year the list of people that bought online, crediting them. So it'd be good to go back to people that bought from you last year and see if they'll buy again and hit it up the online. We'll start collecting money next week, or actually today if anybody brought money. But going forward now, we'll collect money as you sell your tickets. So thank you for all your efforts. Good team effort will get us across the finish line.
Yet another announcement? Pardon? You'll be doing it Saturday? All right, way to go. Thank you. Let's see what else. Any other announcements that I missed? All right. So this is amazing. I practiced that speech to keep it under, and we are ahead of schedule. We don't need 1:30 today. However, it's available. So thank you to everybody for being here today. To our virtual guests, including Marianne, thank you for watching. Let's see. So please donate to the scholarship cups are on your tables. And we give the money that you donate in the cups, or if you're an ongoing contributor and have a little sticky thing on your badge for the scholarships, that really comes in handy because we have a lot of scholarship recipients. So you can either scan the QR code to make a contribution or just put cash in the cups. So, and here it is. That's what it looks like. You got them at your tables. All right. So thank you all for that. Happy birthday, TJ. Happy birthday, Jim. Welcome to the club, Luis. Way to go, Major. And next week, as mentioned, there is no lunch meeting. We're going to meet at Diana Medeiros' gallery. So Friday this week is the last day to sign up, so please do that. And then after that, the following week, on Wednesday, July 16th, is our District 5500 Governor Bruce Monroe, who will be presenting to us and talking to us about the district. And speaking of which, where's my camera? There we go. Is this cool or what? Mark brought this back for me. Is that backwards? That's right. I can't see. Anyway, yeah. So I'll wear this on rodeo day too. So anyway, so thank you, Mark. Thank you for representing our club so ably at the convention. We appreciate it. I appreciate you being there. Thank you. Let's see. And so when we meet on the 16th and for the rest of the meetings in July, we'll be right here in the Crystal Ballroom. And so now, Joe D for toast and adjourn.
Raise your glasses. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Unite Southern Arizona.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned, and it's 6 minutes early from the 12:18. There we go. We're done.